All right, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Best Daily Best channel. I'm your host, Sportsman D, and we had a pretty good day yesterday. We went 3-1. We missed the under in that Browns Bengals game. I should have known that. I should have known that the Browns defense is so horrible and that the Bengals defense is really bad, and that there would have been points there. But I was more optimistic that the offenses would be terrible. So wrong, but that's okay. Again, we still went 3-1. We still made some good money. Missed our dog of the day, but to be fully honest, I didn't actually even take that one. And likewise today, I don't have a dog of the day I'm going to recommend, so I'm sure we'll have one for tomorrow. But for today, we're going to go ahead and skip that. But let's go ahead and get into the 4 picks that we do have today. Pick number 1, and full disclosure, guys, 2 of these do include soccer, so I understand if you're not into it, but again, as always, the disclaimer here is I am money in soccer, and so we got 2 of them here for you today. Let's take a look at the first one. First one's going to be the over of 2.5 between FC Utrecht and Venlo. And I don't know why VVV is pronounced VVV, but it is. And this is in the Dutch Eredivisie. So, we're over in the Netherlands here. If you take a look at just VVV or VVV, whatever, these guys have touched the over of 2.5 the last 4 games running. 3 of the last 5 have touched the over for FC Utrecht. Some of these are friendly games, so they don't really mean shit. But, when we look down at the past couple games that these guys have played together, you have 1-1, 1-2, 2-6. I think this game's going to go over, mainly because VVV Venlo seems to be a much better offensive team. And they showed it in the last game, so I'm counting on that to give us 3 goals in this game between the 2 of these teams, and I think it will happen. Pretty sure it's going to happen. Nearly positive it's going to happen. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to baseball. And we've got a couple of we have 1 baseball pick today, and we're taking the over of 6.5 in the first game of the doubleheader between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, here's the deal, guys, and this is important to remember. These doubleheader games this year are 7-inning games. So they're only going to go 7 innings no matter what. Obviously, I guess, unless they go extended, but they're scheduled for 7 innings rather than 9. So that's why our under's so low. The over-under is so low at 6.5. Again, we want the over in this game. And let's just take a look at why if we take a look at the 2 pitchers here. So let's pull up Carlos Martinez, starting pitcher for the Cardinals. And, yeah, he's not pitched well at all. So his last game, he was a little bit better, but he still gave up a dinger in 4 innings. Each of his games, if you look here, each of his games have touched the over that he started in. So that's not good. We look over at Trevor Williams. This isn't good either. So he's pitched pretty badly, in fact. So he had that 1 good game against Cleveland, and then it's 8 runs, 5 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs. Look at that. 2 home runs, 3 home runs, 1 home run, 3 home runs. That's too many. That's way too many. They're going to give up this total. The total sitting at 6.5 on a 7-inning game is really an indictment on the starting pitchers. When you have a 9-inning game, you're likely to have at least 3 or 4 innings, most likely 3 or 4 innings pitched by the relief. When you have a 7-inning doubleheader game, it's typically, an inning or 2 innings. So when you're talking about the over-under in a 7-inning game, it is a complete indictment on the starting pitchers, and that's why we're looking at it at 6.5. It's actually too low. I think it should probably be 7.5, given these 2 pitchers and how bad they are. But, these aren't great hitting teams, so you have to contend with that as well. Either way, guys, I think this one's going to eclipse the 7-run mark. And with our over-under sitting at 6.5, that is good enough for a cash. So let's take a look over to pick number 3. Pick number 3, we've got the Campbell Fighting Camels against Coastal Carolina. Now, this is a really interesting thing here because Campbell they're not even a D1 team. So they've got, as far as I can tell, 4 games on their schedule that are against D1 competition. And I don't know how many other games that they're going to play against lesser competition, but Georgia Southern, they put up 26 points against Georgia Southern, which was actually a pretty good team last year. And if we take a look over at Coastal Carolina, they put up 38 at Kansas. Now, Kansas is not a powerhouse by any means, but it's a strong D1 school, not team, school. And so they've got some athletes there. They should have put up a better showing than this, but Coastal Carolina put it on them. I think that Coastal Carolina beats the absolute shit out of Campbell and covers the 55-point over-under with ease. Whoops. So if we get back to this, it doesn't show. 55 is the over on this game. And, I think that the scoreline's probably actually something very similar to this. Maybe up in the 40s, being that Coastal Carolina is at home. So maybe, let's say 40, for whatever reason, it's going to go even 40 to 28. 40 to 28 is your final score from, let's say 40-21. That matters. 40-21 is the final score here in this game, and I think Coastal Carolina takes them down rather easily. Our fourth and final pick today is going to be the over of 3.5 between LAFC and the Seattle Sounders. Seattle's a really good team. They are a really good team. They've got some real solid players, and they're going to take on LAFC, who's also a really good team and starting to turn the corner and play a little bit better. Either way, it's going over. I don't care if LAFC wins this game. I don't care if Seattle Sounders win this game. I don't care if it's a draw. This is going to go over of 3.5 because these teams, when they get together, they like to score. Take a look. So 3-1, 4-1, 3-1. And you got a weird 1-1 fluke, but then 4-1 again. So I think, again, it's going to be over of 3.5 here. Book it, count it, lock it in. It's going to hit, guys. It's going to play. So let's take it back here so we can bring this thing home. We've got the over of 6.5 between the Cardinals and Pirates in the first game of the doubleheader. Make sure that you're taking the first game. I don't know about that second game, boys. But first game of the doubleheader. Got the over of 2.5 between Venlo and FC Utrecht in the Netherlands Eredivisie. All right, and we got the over of 3.5 in the Sounders and LAFC game, and we got the over of 55 in the Coastal Carolina versus Campbell Fighting Camels game. All right, good luck, guys. Get those picks in, get those bets in. We'll see you here around this time. Actually, we're going to see you here much, much earlier tomorrow for another edition of the Best Daily Bets, where we get into some college football. Oh, yeah. All right, boys. So have a good one, and we'll see you here again tomorrow for another round of the Best Daily Bets.